Outro video para ti hoy. Este es Aaron con E de enacomputers.com. Wow, I have all this space, and what do I do with it? Well, what I have is a switch and some computers. There's a desktop there. There's one. I also have this laptop over here that actually I just made a video about, and this does not have a hard drive, and it's running Linux Mint off of itself, off the flash drive. And so what I did, this is going to share the internet. So I'm just making this video showing you how to set up this switch. It's a 5-port switch. So I have an Ethernet connection, so I have an Ethernet cable here, and then I have a desktop computer with an Ethernet cable, and then that's about it for now. So I have a Tenda 5-port gigabit Ethernet switch. It supports actually 2,000 megabits per second maximum, but whatever. 5 ports. Now with some of these switches that aren't very expensive, this one was only about 20 bucks. I think it might have been $17.95 plus tax, but I know it was less than $20. And to set up a quick network, that's all I need. With some of these switches, you can't use them all. This one you can use all 5. Sometimes the 5th port or the 8th port is the uplink port, which you would use to connect to another router. Router to router or switch to switch. But in this case, no. So it came with a user guide, and you can look at it, and a power supply. Just a basic power supply. Real, not very expensive. One that you would probably see on an Android. I'm weird when it comes to new. This isn't new, but I always leave plastic. I leave that on. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's a Wi-Fi router, any kind of electronic equipment, I leave the factory plastic, because you know what? You take that off and this gets all smudged up and scratched up, so whatever. I don't care about that. But so as you can see, it's just got lights on the front, power, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 switch port lights, and it's a G1005D Ethernet switch. Now there's a difference between a hub and a switch. Hubs are dumb. Switches have some intelligence. This is self-managed switch. Now, and then also with these cheaper switches, sometimes they share the bandwidth. In this case, you get 1,000 gigabits per second. You get gigabit per port. So it would be a total of 5 gigabits. But so they don't share the bandwidth, so that's good. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's very small. Look at how small it is. And let me have to plug in the power. I should have done that before I record this video, but whatever. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with one hand. So just give me a second. That should be good enough. This is just a quick setup. I'm not going to be worrying about cables or anything like that. Just get a quick network setup. And I'm going to have to move this guy over here because the cable isn't very long. And that's why I should have had it set up beforehand, but whatever. Come on. It's a lot harder to make videos with one hand than you think. Okay, so, and then you see the power. So that's all it does. We can go over the specifications real quick off the box. I knew what they were, but you know. Plug and play, okay. gigabit speed up to 2000 megabits transmission rate per port in full duplex mode, and N-wave flexibility, auto sensing. So what it does is that it senses the port on your computer. So it's an automated switch. So it'll sense what speed this port is, which this is gigabit. Now you can set it manually, but not through the switch. This is, in my opinion, it's like a hybrid. It's a dumb smart switch. It has a little bit of intelligence, but it's not really that convoluted and complex compared to other switches. You can't access it through a web browser and change settings and update firmware and change the ports manually. But you can go in on each individual computer into the operating system and change the port setting to duplex, half duplex. This supports 10 megabits per second, 100 megabits per second, and up to 2,000 megabits per second, which is, gigabit. Anything else? What is strange is on the packaging, it stipulates that it supports, what is it, Mac? Yeah, right there. Mac and Windows 8. I don't know why. This is just, it's compatible with those operating systems. Well, it's just a switch. It doesn't care. I've hooked up Linux computers to this switch. I don't know why the fuck they specified that, but whatever. And that's about it for the specifications, really. It's just a standard switch, just very, very basic. But I've had it for a few years and never had a problem. All right, so once you power it on, then that's it. Then this Ethernet cable comes from the laptop, which actually is my internet gateway. I'm going to share the internet off that thing because it doesn't have a hard drive, and I'll just use it as a router. You know what I'm saying? At least for now. So you just plug this guy in. It doesn't matter which port. I'm pretty sure this doesn't have a dedicated uplink port. Some of them do, and if they do, it will the port might be marked. So the light is orange. I don't know what that is about. Maybe try a different. Okay, well, anyways, now then you plug in the other cable from the desktop computer, and then this is a very crude video, but I don't give a fuck. Okay, so we'll just connect this one in the back, and then the light should turn on and it's green. I'm not sure why that's orange, because that's a gigabit port off that laptop. It's passing traffic. Now on the desktop computer, it says local area connection, and it's connected. So what I can do to show you that this computer wasn't hooked up to anything, I can disconnect it and then show you real quick. Unplugged. Network cable unplugged. And then I'll just plug it back in. And the green light. And then it should say identifying. And there we go. So then you can also go into the details. Whoops. Yeah, I want to go into details, and you'll see it has an IP address. And so that's exactly what I want. Gigabit, it also says gigabit network connection. And even right there. Well, then I'm going to test the internet, and it should work. And I am using, there we go. What can we go? We can go to, how about just these links real quick. Okay, so that works. And we can even go back and choose the Microsoft Store. So as you can see, the switch works, man. It's gigabit speeds. So that is my little project. And then in the future, I'm going to make a video showing you how to, I already made a video showing you how to use a laptop without a hard drive and boot off of a flash drive and run Linux off of it. So right now I can access the internet on this, but I needed a router, and this is getting a Wi-Fi signal. So this laptop is my internet gateway. It's getting the internet traffic from the Wi-Fi. Now, by using a switch, I can share the internet on multiple computers, and that's exactly why I have that switch. And I decided to use this laptop and put it to good use, and I just found a good use. So I already made a video showing you how to use a laptop without a hard drive and run Linux off of a USB flash drive. I haven't made the video yet, but I'm going to make a video showing you how to share the internet connection. Internet connection sharing on Linux Mint 19 is very easy. It's only like just a couple of clicks. That is what turns on the router. So this computer gives IP addresses. If you notice, the network was 10.42.0. It's now every computer that connects to this switch will get a 10.42.0 IP address. And then that will share the internet. And I've done traffic speeds tests with speed of .me 12, what was it, 14 down and around 6 up. 14 gigabits per second down, 6 gigabits per second up. And that's with a very weak signal. That's not with a very good Wi-Fi signal. But it's sufficient enough. I might even be able to live stream, but I need to get better equipment. So anything else about this switch? It was only $20. I bought it at Micro Center. The brand is Tenda. It's only 5-port switch. It's the model G1005D. Never had a problem with it. It doesn't flake out. I never have to disconnect or reconnect. The only time I do that is if the Wi-Fi signal is flaky, and then I just, but very rarely do I have to disconnect the power and reconnect it. It doesn't overheat. It doesn't flake out. It just fucking works. Now, you can use all ports, and I don't think this has an uplink port, and it's auto sensing. And I don't know why that light is orange. I'm not. Maybe this is transferring at 2 gigabits per second. Usually the gigabit is a green light, and if it's orange, it's slower than that. I'm pretty certain. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that has a gigabit port on that quad core. That's it, man. Anything further? I mean, switches are very easy to use, and I've been very happy with this. Well, it says 5/8 port gigabit Ethernet switch. They must have made models with 8. That's very popular. Most switches that you'll see are 8 ports. This was 5. I went to Micro Center, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money a couple years ago, and they might have had some 8 ports, but they were like, you're talking $50 to $100, and I was like, that's overkill. I don't need that for a small little network. So I bought this 5-port. Here we go. Green, orange. Orange indicates the switch is connected at 10 by 100. Uh-oh. Maybe I was wrong. Orange indicates the switch is connected at 10 or 100 megabits per second. Well, that's not good. I swore that that quad core, I can't imagine that quad core only has 100 megabits. That's not even that old. I mean, most Ethernet ports on laptops even have been like a gigabit for a long time now. Anything else about this guy? Let's see. Okay, it shows you the standards. Supports auto, MDIX, up to 1000 megabits per second. See, it's auto negotiation. It will detect what the port speed is at. Flow control, I'm not worried about that. Provides up to 10/16 gigabits per second backplane bandwidth. Forward switching. It's got a MAC address. It stores MAC addresses. Oh shit. Or it's got some kind of database. I mean, it's just so basic. And they show the 8-port one. They tell you the LED indicator, so that's good. All right. Anything else? Oh, okay. Router switch. The internet. Yeah. See, it doesn't have a WAN. A wide area network would be the internet, but this switch doesn't have a dedicated WAN port. It would be marked, so you just use any of the 5 ports, and I've used this switch before. Speed 10 megabits per second, 100 megabits per second, up to 1000 megabits per second. 10 base T Cat 3, Cat 5, Cat 5, Cat 5e, or Cat 6. Cat 6 is newer. Cat 5, Category 5 cable has been around a long time. It's got a MAC address table. Packet filtering, but you can't remotely connect into the switch, so it's very basic. But that's all I needed, and that's all I need right now. And yeah, I've been more than happy with this switch, so that's it, man. So if you want to, hook up a quick gigabit network, that's all you do. Just get one of these switches, plug it in from the internet connector, the computer with the internet, and then to any desktops. And then another thing you can do is you can daisy chain. This doesn't have an uplink port that I'm aware of, but you can hook other switches and routers to this. So that's all you would do is you would hook up, and I have way over here on the other side, I've got a broadband router, and it's got 4 ports, so all I would do is run a cable from any of these ports. I don't think any of these are uplink, and hook it to that Tenda switch, and then I would get three more connections. But so as a computer repair technician, sometimes that's what happens, is you run out of ports. And then I also have this old Belkin, an old Belkin but this is only 100 megs, so I don't use that. But if I had to, you would daisy chain to the Belkin and then set it as an access point only, and then you'd get 3 more ports. All right, that's it with my video. It's just a quick way to set up a quick network. Adios.